Time for a little bit of belly breathing or abdominal breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. So it is something that you can do from anywhere at any time, which is the beauty of it, and leaning into our pranayama breathwork, a yogic type of breathwork. We are going to do our foundational breath, which is our belly breath. And this is something that we do naturally as babies when we're first born, and we lose the ability, or we lose the habit, I guess, of breathing in this manner, a deep belly breath throughout our lives. And oftentimes when we feel stressed or a little bit under pressure, we can notice our breath changes. So our breath can tell us a lot about how we're feeling physically and emotionally. And you might notice sometimes if you're feeling a little bit stressed, or before a big meeting, or even if you're going on stage, let's say, and you're doing a big public talk, your breath can kind of start to get a little bit higher, maybe even caught up in your chest, and we're breathing up much more shallow breaths. So we really want to bring the breath back down here and imagine a balloon filling. So we're going to inhale through our nose, and as we inhale, the belly will expand and the balloon will fill. And as we exhale, the belly will empty, the balloon will empty. So that's a nice visual aid to use if you want. Sometimes we can also think about jellyfish. So as we're breathing in, the jellyfish is moving, and as we're breathing out, the jellyfish is becoming a little bit smaller. That kind of pattern can be quite relaxing, thinking of a jellyfish in the ocean. Or, as you can see from my hands, you can think of an accordion if you want. So breathing out, filling with air, breathing in, allowing the air to release. I always recommend a little bit of feedback here from your hands. If you want to place your hand, whichever hand, on your belly. And I think as well, we often have a tendency to hold our bellies and to kind of try and hold our bellies in. So like completely relaxing your belly here, just allowing it to relax. That in itself can just be so releasing and so freeing. Just a big floppy belly. Let's bring in the floppy bellies. Let's make them cool. Why aren't they cool? Floppy bellies. Bellies are amazing. It's where all life begins, around this area of the body. So, let's embrace it. And yeah, so let's allow the bellies to completely relax. Feet flat on the floor if you are seated, and I do recommend doing this from seated or cross-legged position if that's comfortable for you. And then just starting to inhale through the nose. Belly fills like a balloon. And exhale through the nose if that's available to you. Belly empties. And you can continue a few rounds of this. It's actually quite nice to try and practice this for maybe 5 minutes if you have the time, 5 or 10 minutes. And it's a practice that you could bring in throughout your day. So it can be lovely to start your morning with something like this. It's a real grounding practice that just brings you back to yourself. Your awareness is turned inwards and you start to feel that feedback. And also as we lengthen our breath and breathe deeply, diaphragmatic breathing or abdominal breathing like this, it helps to send signals to our body that everything is safe. We are safe, we are calm, we are grounded. So it allows you then to start to move through your day operating in a much more clear and calm manner. So it's a lovely way to start the day, but also it's a great tool to use throughout your day. If you're feeling a little bit frazzled, if you're feeling like you are a little bit anxious about a big meeting or something's happening, if you feel like you actually just want to come back to balance and you just want to ground yourself for a few moments, maybe nothing happened, but you just feel like you want a little bit of balance and you just want to come back to, a more calm state, then this is a great tool to use. You could use it at your desk if you're working. You can use it at home if you're in the playground. With your kids, you could be using it. If you're maybe as a ritual when you're leaving work and you're going home and you want to try and switch gears and make sure that you are leaving work behind you, this is a nice one to practice in the car before you leave your workplace, or even as you park up at home just for a few moments. And just giving you that few minutes, that kind of gift back to yourself of stillness and returning home, I think is what is so beautiful about it to me. And as the more you practice it, the more you'll find yourself naturally breathing in this state more throughout your day, which is extremely beneficial for your system. And belly breathing is, as I think I mentioned, a foundational breath. So before you build any other breath techniques into your life, I would always recommend making sure you feel extremely comfortable with this abdominal or diaphragmatic breathing. The final thing I would say is that it's a nice one to layer in if you have a meditation practice. So a bit of breath work like this before moving into your meditation can really help allow you to arrive a little bit easier into that stillness and that calm and that present moment. And using our breath as an anchor is always a reminder to come back to the here and now, the only moment that's real, and a reminder just to come back to yourself as well. If you're feeling like you're giving a lot of yourself to others, giving your time, your energy, it just is that kind of like reset button, recharge. So I definitely invite you to practice some belly breathing with us this week. I'll be aiming for between 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to use it in the morning when I normally do, but I am also going to see if there's times throughout my day where I feel, actually, do you know what, I could do it a little recalibration here. And I'm going to use it for that too and see how I feel after that. I haven't really done that in recent times. So if that feels good to you, let the bellies free. That's all I can say. Free the belly. I actually feel so comfortable here just allowing my belly to let loose. And I know I will hold it in at times throughout the day. It's a habit I have. I hold it in often. To the world we live in, but it's very nice to release it right now in its full glory. So enjoy.